what is avoidance? Pushing away these painful memories, experiences, emotions. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to look at it. And in the meantime, I promise you, avoidance feels fantastic. I don't want to look. It's not really there. Over time, what's happening? We're starting to bubble. That fire inside of us, we don't know where it starts small. It's hard to notice. Over time, the more we avoid, the bigger the fire gets. And the concept of avoidance, which is why I wanted to focus on, is it prevents Tazkiyatunafs, right? In order for us to purify our soul, we have to identify, we have to process, we have to be willing to be honest with ourselves. And if we're avoiding, we don't do that, right? It blocks us from that processing, that integration that is critical for healing. Tazkiyatunafs says, I'm gonna take a closer look. What's going on here? What can I change? What's in my control? What's not in my control? What do I need to make dua for? Very specifically, is there something that I'm stuck with? Ya Allah, I had a client the other day, she's like, Mona, I'm having a lot of intrusive thoughts. I was like, let's write a dua. Ya Allah, help me with my intrusive thoughts. I'm sitting in class, I can't focus on the lecture because X thought keeps coming up. All right, in that moment, what are we doing? We're gonna stop, take 2 minutes, make the dua. Oh. So, this requires strength, right? Let's be honest, this is not a simple thing. It requires strength and discipline. And what we can further explore from that is kind of these two concepts that I like to talk about in most of my talks, muraqaba and muhasaba. Muraqaba is really monitoring oneself. Muhasaba is taking account for oneself. So we can't, if you just engage in muraqaba and you've identified areas where maybe you're stuck or the intrusive thoughts are coming out, there's a question earlier about maybe there's this like mental block, but you're not doing anything about it, the muhasaba is gonna be challenging. You can't hold yourself accountable to a standard that you didn't set. And this is where therapy can be helpful, because unfortunately, whether we acknowledge it or not, our community is in a state where I can't tell that person what I'm going through because they're gonna laugh at me. Or if I tell this to the sheikh at the masjid, he's gonna tell me, pray. You can't pray the trauma away. That's not how it works. So we really, as a therapist, for me, sometimes I engage as an accountability partner. I'm gonna call you out if you said you were gonna do something and you didn't do it. I'm gonna tell you. What is that doing to yourself? What is that building for you? Is it building the ability or the concept of discipline? Are you showing up for yourself in the ways that you promised yourself you would? And if you don't have discipline of self, do you have discipline with your prayers? Like where else are we seeing that? And it's the honest question we need to ask. Sometimes I think there's a fear of therapy because the truth is maybe, X amount of years ago, therapy was, and how does that make you feel? And you get these the same reaction. It was the same thing. When I first got into psychology, it was the same narrative. Just give them the stage. Just let them talk. Well, yeah, but I'm not your friend, right? I'm your therapist. So, if you want to just talk, I'll hear you the first session and the second session. By the third session, I'm going to ask you, so what's up? What are we doing here? I don't want to waste your resources. I don't want to waste your time, which is why I carry maybe more of a controversial perspective on therapy. As a therapist, do not get me wrong, I think it's very beneficial, but I think there are steps you have to take in order for therapy to be beneficial. If you show up, your therapist, and you expect your therapist to have all the answers and just do all of the work on your behalf, it's not gonna work. Because in the field, we also say you cannot work harder than your clients. Because if I have to show up 200% for every single client, there's none left for me, there's none left for my family, and there's none left for the clients of tomorrow. So I also have to be honest with everybody here and say, it's not just I called the therapist and I went in. Right now, everyone can go home, whether you're in therapy or not, and say, what's going on for me? Take account of yourself. And tomorrow, you can hold yourself accountable by what you learned today. That you could do this tomorrow. You don't need a therapist. You could do it tomorrow, right? So I want to be very honest that therapy is a piece of the puzzle. It is not the entire picture.